Hi, I'm Bill Moffitt, and I'm an Industry Product Marketing Manager focused on the manufacturing industry with Microsoft Dynamics. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a different approach that we are leveraging with Microsoft Dynamics AX, and specifically how users are going to be able to consume the information that we can provide out in the manufacturing environment. Today, I'm going to review some of the key features that you'll find in Dynamics AX 2012 R3, and even show a couple of demos highlighting these new features. The planned Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 R3 enhancements coming in April of 2014 include new supply chain related functionalities such as demand forecasting, warehouse management, and transportation management. In addition to these supply chain capabilities, we also have product change management capabilities and even a new shop floor control application built to take advantage of the Windows 8 application framework. Today, we'll provide short demonstrations on some of this functionality. In an effort to not duplicate the efforts of the other presenters during this Blitz presentation, I won't be showing the warehousing or transportation management functionality, but I do plan to have short demos on demand forecasting, product change management, and the new shop floor app. In the meantime, let's take a quick look at the demand forecasting area. Delivering excellence is not just about providing best-of-breed functionality to customers. It's also important to make sure that you meet the individual needs of users while doing so within a reasonable budget. When we release Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 R3, we are planning to include a lightweight yet powerful demand forecasting tool that leverages SQL analysis servers to enable users to forecast demand based on historical data, adjust that information for the forecast demand using Excel, and then imports those values back into the Microsoft Dynamics AX forecast models. By building a design that leverages existing Microsoft technology to create new functionality, Dynamics AX's demand forecasting functionality will be a familiar solution to use that offers the flexibility to make adjustments at any order point and all at a cost-effective price point. Now let's see a short demo by Christian Ritt, a Senior Program Manager on the AX R&D team, who will provide a demonstration of the demand generation forecast process and how to make modifications to the forecast, all via Excel.
My name is Christian Ritt. I work as a Program Manager at Microsoft. In this video, I will show you how to generate forecast and modify it in Excel with AX 2012 R3 Demand Forecasting. From the Master Planning menu, under Demand Forecasting, we open Generate Statistical Baseline Forecast. Here we define the historical horizon that we want to use when generating our statistical forecast. I set the starting date to the 1st of February and the end date to the last day of November. Then we define when we want the baseline forecast to begin. I set this to the day after the 1st of December 2012. In order to include items in the forecast generation, they have to be part of at least one item allocation key. In here I can go in and I can select filters if I only want to generate forecast for some of my item allocation keys. I leave it blank as I want to use all of them. I click Show More Fields and you notice that now I can define my forecasting period. The first thing I define is the forecast bucket. This can be either day, week, or month. I choose month. Then I define the forecast horizon. This is the period that I will calculate my forecast for. I choose 12, meaning that I will calculate it for 12 months. Freeze time fence that I set to 1, meaning that I cannot change the first month of forecast from the starting date. Below that, we have the manual adjustments. With this field, my manual transactions will not be overridden by the next forecast generation. I click OK to start generating the statistical baseline forecast. Now an info log is showing me that the statistical baseline forecast has been generated and that I can click here to open the Excel file. In Excel, my data is placed in a pivot table. The column B is showing me the item allocation keys D, L, and T, and in the second row you see the months, December, January, February, and so on for my forecast. Notice that the first month, December 2012, is yellow as I cannot edit it. This was our frozen period. As this is a pivot table, we can choose how we see data. Let's try to add all the items under the item allocation keys. Maybe we prefer to see the item names instead of the numbers, so we can simply change that over here. I could also choose for each of the item allocation keys to see in which state that these items are planned to be sold. And if I want to see the forecast per customer group and state, I can simply add the customer group description and then switch them so that my customer group is on top of my state. This way I will see all the states under each customer group. And now that we are looking at the states, I might want to see all the customers' forecasts for each of the states as well. Let's change the view to see the products under each item allocation key, and then let's go in and see the historical demand, which are also available in the cube. As you can see here, I have my historical demand starting all the way back in February 2011. Now let's try to modify the forecast. And in order for us to have a good idea of what the forecast should be, we will say that we want to show both the actual demand and the forecasted quantity, and then go to the first months after the frozen period. You can see that the actual demand for January 2013 is 370. Based on this, we want the forecasted quantity to be 700, so we simply type this in. For the items below that, we want each of them to have a forecast of 100, so we are also changing that. In February, we want to change the forecasted quantity for the entire item allocation key from 1000 to 2000. Notice that when I double the item allocation key forecast, the forecast for each of the products in the item allocation key is also doubled. Now that we have made the modifications, let's publish it to the cube. We'll go to the OLAP tools and take the what if analysis, and here we will publish the changes. Now the changes are published, and you will notice that the little red triangles that we had next to the numbers that we changed are now gone, as they are now the same as the numbers in the cube. As we have the data in Excel, it's very easy to make some graphs that visualize the forecast for me. Here I have created a graph showing me the forecast for each of the item allocation keys. Below that, I have a graph showing me the historical demand as well as the baseline forecast that we just generated. This concluded the video, Generate Forecast and Modify in Excel using AX 2012 R3 with demand forecasting. Thank you for watching.
For more details on the specifics of the demand forecasting functionality, be aware that we will be publishing this information out on Infopedia and PartnerSource and include additional videos on the setup and the use of the demand forecasting capabilities. You can also refer to the blog I wrote in the previous slide where I provided the URL. The new product change management functionality is used in a situation where a component that is used for production must be replaced by another component. A replacement can be necessary, for example, when a vendor discontinues a component or a customer requires a similar item to the original. A typical scenario would allow users the ability to effectively track changes to items based on other user decisions, associate artifacts such as other products, other items, bill of materials, and routing decisions in order to make for easy visibility into why those changes were made, and then even manage the entire product change approval process. For this demo, I've asked Conrad Volkman, a senior program manager from our AX R&D team, to help demonstrate this product change management functionality.
This video shows how product change cases can be used to do changes to products in Microsoft Dynamics AX. We start the product change case from the released product. I'm opening the released products list page. I want to create a product change case where in all products the amplifier 1 is replaced by amplifier 2. I'm creating a product change case in the Engineer tab. Create case. Selecting a case category of type product change. And I'm adding a log. I'm also adding the second component to the same case by associate with case. I'm selecting the new case. I'm opening the case and change the status to in process. From the associations, selecting the item M1 and run the where used analysis to find the finished products where M1 is used. These are two different products with two different bombs. With one click I can associate them with the case. If I refresh the case, you can see all the associations that have been done by now. Selecting the first product and go to the product details, I will now use the BOM configuration to change a new BOM version. Copy the old BOM. In the new created BOM, we will replace M1 by M2. And associate the new BOM to the case. I'll do the same for the second item. Create BOM. Copy. Replace the component. And associate with the case. If I'm refreshing this now, I can see the two new bombs added to the case. I will now go to the approve form will select all the entities. Select the planned effectivity date and suggest actions. The actions will be to approve the new bombs, to expire the old bomb versions, and approve and activate the new bomb versions. With one click I can apply all these actions. Now all bombs and bomb versions are approved. The old bomb versions have been expired and the new bomb versions have been activated. I'm now ready to close the case, which concludes the work on the case. This runs another check on the consistency of the case against the case rules.
Thanks, Conrad, for the demo. As we can see, this new product change management functionality in Dynamics AX 2012 R3 enables not only effective tracking of what happens to products historically, but also enables the customer to incorporate strong managerial decision-making and approval processes using their AX solution. For me, one of the most exciting parts of the R3 release is the ability to further leverage the Microsoft App Store. What the Microsoft AX product team has done is build an app that specifically addresses the needs out on the shop floor. We've referred to this internally as the Shannon app because it replicates the needs of Shannon, who is a shop floor operator role found in Dynamics AX. We've even taken the key requirements of her role and placed them in a modern user interface that allows the user to take advantage of our modern devices and leverage the power of touch. This app allows users an easy way to view and edit information out on the shop floor while embracing our One Microsoft approach. So I'm now going to demonstrate this app. I'll show how we can start production jobs, report on production quantities, both good and bad quantities, read work instructions and drawings, report the occasional breaks that people take, and even report absence and reasons for absence. To start the shop floor control app, the first thing we need to do is simply click on the icon, and it will pull us up to a login screen. Now, while we're looking at this, we can actually go over some of the setting capabilities that you have here. And we have different connection settings that you can click on. Certainly the demo mode capability, where literally you can use this app offline without any kind of connection to the internet. It will provide updated information and new data every time you log in, so you're working with a constant set of data. But also, if you want to work with a live backend database, you simply put in the server address, user name, password, and if you have any kind of default company that you want the user to actually see data that is specifically applied to that company, you can define that as well. We also have other filters that you have the ability to leverage, namely if you want to tie a specific user that's logging in through this application to a production unit, resource group, or an individual resource itself, you can define this as well. And even tie in whether or not this user has the ability to leverage the webcam that is maybe on your Windows 8 device, Surface, or so on. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and log in with the badge ID. We could have scanned it or simply typed in the information. Click Login, and it will bring us immediately up to a dashboard view of what the user has to do for the day. First thing they'll look at is a summary listing of different jobs and the status of those jobs as they need to be working. For example, if there's any high priority jobs or jobs that they currently have on their list of things to do, they'll see there, for example, we have 7 jobs that we need to have started, and we will work on those in a moment. But we want to see first off if there's any messages that the system has for us, such as any kind of birthdays or customer visits or any kind of other information that someone wants to deploy out to the shop floor itself. via Dynamics AX. And then finally over here on the right hand side we can see a listing of potential registrations and jobs that we have actually performed or any kind of activities that we have registered through this application itself. Those will be highlighted here on this this visual graph here on the right hand side. But for first off, we want to take a look and go ahead and process a job, and we'll go ahead and click on this, and this will pull up the full listing of all the jobs that we have that have yet to work on in our system, and it gives us a nice view of what we need to do for the day. So as we can see here, we have I think 7 jobs, but if we had 7 jobs or maybe 700 jobs, there's still a value of being able to find those jobs specifically. If there were multiple ones on the screen, we could certainly go back and forth or sort up and down searching for them. But what I've always found is filtering is always the easiest way. So we have that filtering capability built in here where we can click on, do a search on the number 49, and it pulls up production order 5249, and we can simply go in, click on that, and let's go look at the details of that item itself. And as you see, we have all the job production order information over here on the left hand side. We see that we have one item that we need to work on for this job. We see that we do have an attachment. That's interesting, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But we can also see there's specific raw materials and that we need to have associated with this, what the process is for working on this job, and if there's anybody that's associated with this job that may also be working on it, I can view that information here. But I mentioned earlier that we have attachments available for this order itself, and by simply clicking on this, we can pull up a visual way of looking at the information. Maybe it's a picture of the product, maybe it's specific directions on how to go about using this product. Maybe there's a video that we want to associate with this on how to actually go about putting this working on this job and putting it together. All of that can be tied directly to this individual production order for this job and then viewed through this interface. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back, and I'm going to go back to the job itself. We're going to pull up the main list, and I'm going to actually get rid of the filter here, and I'm going to take a look at this first order that we have, 9989. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go ahead and start this job. We're ready to go ahead and begin production on this job itself. Simply go down, click Start, and it brings up the process of how many actually items on this order of these speakers do we actually want to go ahead and start working on. It automatically defaults to the full amount. I could have lowered that by simply clicking on the minus or plus sign if I wanted to increase that. And then once I find the number that I'm happy with, I go ahead and click Start. And we'll see that that order itself has disappeared from our list of jobs to do. And when I go back, refresh the page, we'll see that we have one job running. Now say it's a couple hours later, the job's finished, we can then go in, find that job, click on it again, and take a look at, is it ready, is it complete, are we ready to report on it? If so, we can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and type in unit 10 for total number quantity, and then go over here, say it's complete, and we'll go ahead and report on it. And we'll see that that job disappears. And when we go back here, refresh again, it's no longer in the My Running Jobs as we have completed that. Now, periodically throughout the day, you'll have to do different things while you're out there on the shop floor. It's not all about just managing the jobs themselves. We do have the ability to do different types of activities, such as indirect activities, maybe cleaning up the area, maybe there's a company meeting or some kind of equipment repair that needs to go on while you're out there. Obviously, you want to be able to record the time that you've spent doing that as well. We can go over here and simply click on that. We'll say that we're working on some regular equipment maintenance, and by clicking on this, it then starts recording the amount of time that I've worked on this item or some quantity of repair units that I've put into a specific job itself. So that's a nice way of actually being able to do more than just job-related activities. And finally, if for some reason, maybe it's around lunchtime and I'm in the middle of a job run, I certainly don't want to log off. Maybe I want to simply find a way to record that I am taking a break. And by going down here, clicking on Take a Break, I can simply click on Break for Lunch, and the system will lock down and allow me to take a step away, and I don't have to worry about anybody coming in behind me and inadvertently making some updates. Once I'm back, I can then go in and start working again by simply clicking on Start Working Again, and the screen will pop back up back to where I was working on it before. The demo you've just seen is still a bit of a work in process. We are actively engaged with customer advisory panels that are providing direct feedback on functional and usability enhancements that we plan to include in the final release of the product. Rest assured though, we will continue to leverage the same general design and the great usability that it provides. The app will leverage a touch-enabled interface and will give users access to information on any device running Windows 8, which really makes for a useful tool in the manufacturing environment. From a pre-sales perspective, these same features also lead to very effective sales demonstrations. The app also comes with a demo mode included, meaning that we now have a fresh new pre-sales and demonstration tool to leverage during the sales cycle. So as you can see, we have a great deal to offer the manufacturing industry. We have the right approach to engaging effectively with people and processes. We have the right functionality to do the job, and we have the right technology approach that will allow us to address those challenges that manufacturers face on a daily basis. We've reviewed a lot today, and I want to thank you so much for your time. As you can see, Microsoft Dynamics AX includes a comprehensive set of manufacturing and supply chain capabilities right out of the box that will allow your manufacturing customers to innovate and respond with agility to changing business environments. We have many customer examples of this for you to leverage, so be sure to check out the manufacturing case studies on PartnerSource, Infopedia, and the Dynamics AX launch portal. I'd also encourage you to go out to that blog I referred to that I wrote on demand forecasting and look for others that will soon be published on the new manufacturing functionality coming in R3. This new approach to deploying functionality to workers in a way that they want to consume it is not just a fad. The ability to customize and configure systems, the ability to leverage a role-tailored view of information, and now the ability to deploy information to users on devices that they want to leverage in the manufacturing environment are now the norm. Workers want to work in an environment that is comfortable and productive, and with the Microsoft platform, we can provide just this. We've taken the next step in building effective solutions for manufacturers, and there is definitely excitement in the air with Microsoft Dynamics. So, I encourage you to join in the conversation with social media, and let's really get the word out. Thanks for your time, and have a great day.